We have finally made it to episode number 15. We'll talk about how far this podcast has come and my first week as a dental student. This is going to be a good one. Welcome back to Extracting Wisdom. My name is Brandon Everett, broadcasting from downtown Chicago, and I'm so excited to bring you episode number 15. This is a big episode because most new podcasters don't make it to 15 episodes. It's a bit of a statistic. They either quit or get bored of podcasting, but we have made it here and there's no end in sight. I will continue to bring you informative content about getting into dental school as well as what life is like as a dental student. And I want to thank each and every listener who tunes in every episode after it is released. It really means a lot, and I wouldn't continue to do this if it wasn't for all of you. So thank you all very much for making this possible. So let's start off by talking about the podcast a little bit. When I released my first episode on February 11th of this year, I didn't really know what to expect. I was nervous about creating this podcast at first, and I didn't really know what to call it. The first podcast name I came up with was actually the Molar Minute podcast, and I actually released one episode underneath this title, and then I took it down because I ended up having a conversation with a friend who works in radio, and he helped me brainstorm some other titles, and Extracting Wisdom was one that we came up with, and it really stuck, and I really liked it, so Extracting Wisdom was born, and I never looked back. Up until now, my podcasts have mainly focused on getting into dental school, DAT tips, talking about time management a little bit with future DDS in episode 5, if you remember that, and receiving the Navy's HPSP scholarship, and a host of other things. Moving forward, however, I'm going to really continue to bring, of course, the best advice on getting into dental school as I can, and keep sharing my tips and tricks of how I made my own dental admission possible and pass that along to you so you can follow the same process and get one step closer to your dream career in dentistry. But also, I am really going to start sharing what life is like as a dental student now that I have finally started. I think it's a great thing for pre-dental students to hear as they approach applying to dental school, to understand what they are getting themselves into, first of all, and it's also great for other dental students to hear, so we can share experiences and learn from each other. So get ready for better content, better episodes, more guest hosts, and just an overall better Extracting Wisdom experience moving forward. Again, thank you guys so much for helping shape this podcast into what it is today. Please keep reaching out, sending emails, and suggesting topics for future episodes and DAT tutorials. Please keep that up because I truly enjoy helping you all get one step closer to dental school admission, or helping out my fellow dental students out there, or anyone interested in pursuing dentistry as a career overall. Really is a pleasure getting to know all of you and help create a enthusiastic community and enthusiastic group of future dentists. And that's why I can't wait to see where this podcast will be after the next 15 episodes. So I'm really excited for that. So I just want to take a moment to tell you about the Ultimate Pre-Dental Guide. If you are unsure of how to navigate your pre-dental career, look no further than the Ultimate Pre-Dental Guide. This book will serve as your roadmap to get into dental school. It has my own personal tips and tricks for things like writing your personal statements, studying for the DAT, and how to make your application cycle a breeze. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to Amazon to pick up your copy today. All right, and back to the episode. Well, finally, after 15 episodes, I am finally a dental student. It's so exciting to be able to say that. And I actually just got back to my apartment after finishing orientation week, and I just wanted to recap my experience with all of you and just talk about my first week. So I have my orientation guide here, and I'm just going to go through it day by day, and we'll talk about it, see what life is like as a dental student going through orientation week. So Monday was probably the longest day just because there were a lot of staff and faculty that had to introduce themselves and kind of give their spiel. You know how it is. It's very similar to, the first day of undergrad or the first day of classes wherever you are. But I have to say the best part was getting to meet all of my classmates. It was really cool to talk with everybody because everyone has their own unique story to tell about how they got into dentistry. And, I just have a really cool class. So shout out to the UIC class of 2022 for those of you who are listening. It's going to be an awesome 4 years with all of you, so I'm so excited. Moving on to Tuesday, again, more introductions, so nothing too exciting there. I don't want to bore you with all of that. But Wednesday, we got to talk about Wednesday because that was the best day by far. So the admissions staff set up a networking boat cruise. So my whole class, the dean and some faculty and some other personnel, we all hopped on some buses and headed down to Navy Pier, and we got on this boat called the Mystic Blue. And we went for a little cruise on Lake Michigan, which was absolutely incredible. We had a great lunch and dessert, and I had so much fun being able to spend some time with my new classmates and getting to know them a little bit better. But, it's just really cool. I haven't heard of any other dental school setting up events like that. So it was just a great experience to network, to meet both faculty and classmates. So just a really, really fun experience. And then moving on to Thursday, again, not too much exciting happening on that day. We pretty much just had our anatomy kind of orientation. We got to check out the lab a little bit. We got to go through some other different orientation type things and seminars. But probably the coolest thing of that day was the American Dental Association's kind of lecture that they gave, along with the Chicago Dental Society and the Illinois State Dental Society. It's pretty cool. Hopefully I will be a member of those very soon. I signed up, so hopefully I'll get my membership. But what's really neat is being a part of the Chicago Dental Society, I will have admission to the Chicago Midwinter meeting, which is really cool. So if any of you are there, I will be there for sure. So I know that's a ways away, but I'm excited about it. I'll be able to meet some of you and meet some of the big dogs in dentistry. So I'm excited about that. Really, really cool. And then today was a fairly easy day. We just had some more lectures and seminar. We got an intro to Axiom, which is the kind of dental practice management software we will be using when we get in the clinic our end of our second year, I think, or third year. So that was a ways away. But probably my favorite part of today was the loops presentation, where we got to learn about all the different kind of loops and magnifications and frames and lights and try different models on. But that's something that as a dental student you really look forward to. That's kind of your initiation into dentistry, is owning your own pair of loops. So very exciting for that. I don't think I'll actually get my own pair until October, but we got to finally try them on and see what they're like. So that was very, very exciting. And that pretty much wrapped up my orientation week. But from all of the lectures and seminars, dental school is going to be a lot of work. We have a jam-packed schedule, day in, day out. And one thing I'm kind of noticing, it's a lot different than undergrad, is the schedule. It's not like you have a particular class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then, Tuesday, Thursday as it's normally set up. You just kind of have lectures throughout the week. It's not really structured. At least I don't really see a structure or routine yet. I'm sure we'll maybe fall into one. But for example here, let me pull up my schedule. So like next Monday, we'll have an anatomy laboratory and introduction to cells and tissues. And then Wednesday, we have embryology. And then we have an introduction to radiology on Friday. So it's just kind of all over the place, which is going to be, I think, a bit of an adjustment. But nevertheless, I'm excited for it. I'm ready to work hard and, finally start working towards becoming a dentist. So anyway, that was pretty much my orientation week. It was long, a lot of information thrown at me, but I'm really excited to finally start classes on Monday and really get into a rhythm of being a dental student. And of course, with subsequent episodes, I will be documenting my way through my dental school journey. But I've already talked to some fellow dental students. I'm going to have them on my podcast as well, to check in with them, figure out why they chose dentistry and how dental school is going for them so far. So be on the lookout for more and more guest hosts. I have a feeling that this podcast is going to get much more exciting. You won't have to listen to me talk the whole time. We'll have other guests to share their experiences as well and talk dentistry. So I will leave you with that. Thank you guys so much for tuning into episode number 15. This was a huge milestone for this podcast, and I'm really excited to see where it's going to be within the next 15 episodes. So I'm really excited to finally start dental school. If you guys have any questions, comments, advice about getting into dental school or dental school itself, please send me an email. My email is in the show notes, or if you're listening on Spotify or something, my email is bevert.dental@gmail.com. So feel free to send me an email, or you can follow me on my Instagram page @BrandonEverettDMD. And also, if you really enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to give it 5 stars on iTunes. That'd be greatly appreciated. And with that, thank you again for listening. I'm going to see you in the next episode, which will be episode number 16. Once again, my name is Brandon Everett, coming at you from downtown Chicago, signing out.